During my school days, I was good in some subjects like science, I was good at, languages, I was good at. I used to like those. I used to like history also. But there were certain subjects like mathematics, geography, I did not like much. And as it used to happen, after the exams, result would come out and we would get a progress report. And I studied in Marathi medium. So we used to call it as Pragati Pustak. So when the marks would come out, then teacher will look at the Pragati Pustak and say that, Hemant, बाकी सब्जेक्ट में तो अच्छे मार्क्स आए हैं, बट मैथ्स में क्या हो गया, ज्योग्राफी में क्या हो गया? And then whole discussion would be about those subjects. Very little discussion and recognition about things that I have done well. Now recall your appraisal discussions. Can you recall your last appraisal discussion? And look at how much time your boss spent on talking about things that you do well. If that meeting is for 1 hour, then if you're lucky, maybe 5 minutes will be, first 5 minutes will be spent on things that you do well, your strengths, your achievements during the year or half year. And the rest 55 minutes will be spent on your weaknesses, things that you need to work on, things that you did not do well. When discussion like that happens, when majority of the focus is on weaknesses, how do you feel at the end of the meeting? Do you feel energized? Do you feel happy? Do you feel positive? Do you feel encouraged? Of course not. I have gone through that experience also. So is there a better way to approach personal development? Is there a better alternative to developing yourself? Yes, there is a better alternative, and that is called strengths approach. Build your life and your career based on your strengths, things that you're good at, things that you have done well, things that you like. And that is what I'm going to talk about in this video. And in this video, I'm going to share with you a very powerful and very practical 5-step process to build your career based on your strengths, things that you like, things that naturally come to you, things that make you happy. There is an advantage to build your career on strengths, because then you will be happy doing those things, you will be good at doing those things, and obviously you will create more value and you will get good results. That is what we all want in our career, don't we? Now take a minute and write down your comments below this video about what do you think is a successful career for you. As I mentioned, for me, a successful career is when I'm doing things that I love to do and I'm good at those things. And that's how I'm creating value. And then I get rewards such as money, recognition, awards, promotion, growth that I deserve because I'm doing something which creates value. And I'm happy because I'm doing things which I love to do. And that is the strengths-based approach. I'm going to share with you a few slides to make this point more clear and give you that 5-step process. We are also going to talk about what leads to peak performance. I think all of us are looking for peak performance, but how to go about that? How to create peak performance? So I'm going to show you that also. But first, let us talk about what are strengths. Now, before that, let me introduce myself very quickly. My name is Hemant Deshpande, and I am a career coach and mentor for CXOs and senior leaders. And strengths-based approach is one of the approaches and one of the tools that we use when we work with our clients, when they are looking for career growth, career change, and be happy with their careers, when they want to create successful careers. That is what we help our clients with. And this is a very powerful approach. So let us first talk about what are strengths. How we define strengths is Strengths are those underlying qualities that energize us, that excite us, that make us happy, and they contribute to our personal growth and lead to peak performance. Think about things that at work you like to do. Is it communication? Is it collaboration? Is it critical thinking that you like to do? Do you like relationship building? Do you like creativity? These are some of the examples of strengths. And as StrengthScope defines it, there are 24 strengths. And when we work with our clients, we actually give them an assessment, a scientific assessment, which will identify their top 7 significant strengths so that they know what their significant 7 strengths are. And we also work together with our clients to create an action plan, how to make use of those strengths so that they can become better and create peak performance. While we are talking about peak performance, let's see what peak performance actually means. Peak performance means that you're working on areas which are of your competence, which you're good at, maybe you're great at. And those are the areas that energize you also. They make you happy, they energize you. And when you're working on those things, you feel like you are in a zone. You lose track of time. You're engaged in that activity and you enjoy it. And you also have the competence, skills, knowledge so that you create value. So combination of that creates peak performance. And when you are performing at your peak, you are happy and you're creating value for your organization, for your clients. And automatically, as a result of that, you get growth opportunities because people will recognize you as a great performer, as a good performer, person who performs at his or her peak always. But how to go about that? Is there a process to that? Yes, there is a process to that. That's the good news. So this is what I'm going to share with you next, the 5-step process to move towards your peak performance. And the process starts with aspirations. What are your aspirations in your career? What kind of roles you would like to play? What kind of work you would like to do? What do you want from your career? Creating those aspirations and goals will give you a direction. The second step is awareness, becoming aware of your strengths. And as I spoke about earlier, there are scientific instruments such as StrengthScope, one of the leading instruments in the world to identify your strengths. Become aware of your strengths so that you can use them. Also, you can become aware of your strengths by looking in the past that what kind of work you have enjoyed working, what kind of tasks you have enjoyed, what kind of roles give you happiness and joy. Look at that and become aware of that. And based on that, create an action plan so that you can maximize your strengths. The third step is action. See, nothing gets achieved if we don't take action, right? So actionize the plan. Look at the ways in which you can leverage your strengths in your current role. How you can use your strengths to be more effective. Ask yourself this question: how much am I using this strength? Once you become aware of your strengths, how much am I using this strength? Is there a way I can stretch myself to use this strength? Can I develop this strength further? That is the action on the ground. The fourth step is agility. Agility is being flexible, being aware of your strengths and also non-strengths. Non-strengths are those areas where you don't feel energized about doing those things. For example, I don't get energized by number crunching. I don't get energized by negotiations. I don't get energized by, let's say, conflict. Those are things which don't energize me. In fact, I feel frustrated, irritated, drained out when I do those activities. But when I do communication, when I work with people on developing themselves, and in the process, I develop myself, when I'm communicating ideas, when I'm working on personal development, creating self-awareness, those are things which I enjoy. And That's the reason why I have chosen coaching as a profession. So I'm working on my strengths. So I'm an example of how one can use their strengths in their role. So that's the fourth step, agility. Also look at combination of strengths. So you can combine your strengths and work at that together. Here, it is also important to understand that if there are some non-strengths, how can you compensate for your non-strengths through your strengths? There is also a way of, if there is a non-strength that is required in your role, then can you hire someone to do that work for you? For example, in my business, when it comes to number crunching, which I don't enjoy and which is not my strength, I have a team member who is good at it. So that is how you can work around your non-strengths. And the fifth step is achievement. Achieving the success, achieving the results that you want to achieve, using the strengths, combinations, working around your non-strengths, that achievement piece. And then after you have achieved the results that you wanted to achieve, then go back to the aspirations, upgrade your goals, move to the next level. That is how you can use this process. If you like this video, then subscribe to this channel. I create more such videos every week, which are around career growth, career strategies, career change, what can help you, what are the different tools, strategies, ideas that can help you be successful in your career. That's my focus. So there is one more video that I can refer you to where I had talked about strengths-based approach, and I had shared some examples also from my own career and careers of my clients, how they use strengths and how non-strengths become barriers. So that video should be somewhere here. So you can click that and watch that.